Preemptive nuclear strike. This is now the war doctrine of Russia. This is Warnings 247. France, USA, Britain put on permanent alert. Putin adopts preventive nuclear strike. So this is the escalate to de-escalate doctrine. Karaganov's proposal with biblical reference. It says, the Almighty showed us the way with Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think he's referencing the Western world. And I can't disagree with him, to be absolutely honest. So here it is here. NATO's nuclear armed forces, Britain and France, are on permanent nuclear alert after the latest worrying development. According to information, Putin has upgraded Sergei Karaganov, his advisor, who is an advocate of preemptive and limited nuclear strike against Russia's enemies as a means of preventing global nuclear war. Escalate to de-escalate. What did the United States do in the Second World War, which was, said to be the cause of Japan surrendering? Well, they dropped nuclear weapons. They escalated to de-escalate, and that was the story of who won World War II. United States for using nuclear weapons. Does Russia understand that? They absolutely do. They are going to escalate to de-escalate using limited nuclear strike and preemptively at that. Preemptively. This means that it could come at any time. The rhetoric is increasing. NATO is coming out and saying and Germany, that they could go to Russia within the next year or two or 5 years. And the truth of it is, if they're saying that to their citizens, their army, their military thinks the war is going to come sooner, right? Because they're not going to want to scare the people, and they're not going to want to tip their hand to Russia and say, we know when the war is going to start. And likewise, Putin is going to start war before anybody else is saying it's going to start, because they get the surprise factor in there, right? So the dialogue between the two men is revealing and explains that nuclear arm that has been sent to NATO. NATO fears that Putin has adopted the application of the Karaganov Doctrine, especially after admitting changes to Russia's nuclear doctrine. This is why Putin has placed Karaganov, the guy who came up with the doctrine, in a key role at the International Economic Forum in St. Petersburg, and gave him the opportunity to analyze the preemptive strike and take questions from journalists. So they're making this mainstream. They're putting this out there, and maybe on the one hand, it's a warning to the West that they're thinking about it, and for the West to back up. But on the other hand, they're saying, look, we will do this effectively if you don't stop arming and supporting Ukraine. So preemptive nuclear strike is what they're talking about. And again, I said it before, Russia, Putin said it himself. They know, or one of the generals, I think, they know that Russia cannot win a conventional war with the West. So they have no interest to continue a conventional war with troops on the ground and, gasoline engine aircraft in the air against Ukraine, and therefore against Europe and NATO. They know they can't win that. They can't win that game. They knew it since World War II and earlier. And their whole war doctrine is centered around, well, if conventional war starts and it becomes an existential threat, we will have nuclear forces that outnumber and can overwhelm United States / NATO / Europe / the West. And that will be how we win that war. That's always what they've understood as a military in Russia. So yes, going nuclear is their only option. They know they will not win a conventional war. The second goal was for, it says, the Russian people to understand what was at stake and to prepare. So they're telling their citizens to prepare. Germany is telling their citizens to prepare. Poland is. Many countries are telling their citizens to prepare. They're providing, 72-hour emergency checklists and what to do and where to build a bunker and to set up your cellar as a bunker in the event of nuclear war or just all-out conventional war for that matter. And they're getting their citizens ready. Are you hearing about that in North America? Absolutely not. You're not hearing that, because I think Americans, Canadians, and probably our military brass think we're safe over here. Well, I don't think we are. And wait for the significant cyber attacks and the sabotage to start happening. Again, you look at these poultry plants on fire. You look at this ransomware attacks. When World War III starts, the hacks, the fires, the explosions are going to be shock and awe. They're saving the best stuff for when World War III starts. They're not doing the best stuff now. They're waiting until they actually go to war to pull out their best hacks and to cause the most explosions and to cause the most communications down and electricity grid down acts against North America and against Europe, etc. So when it starts, it will be shock and awe. They said the Iraq War is going to be shock and awe. When World War III starts, folks, and Russia really decides to go against United States and Europe preemptively, there will be shock and awe, folks, and people will be shocked in the West. Our cell phones won't work. Internet won't work. People won't know what to do with themselves. It's going to be bedlam and riots in the streets. There will be roving gangs looking for food, water, or whatever they can find. It's going to be Mad Max when this starts. I really do believe that. And you need to get your mind wrapped around that, because it's going to be hard for anybody to survive that, without injury or simply, survive it. Because there's going to be people who are desperate. And even if they're well-meaning people, when everything is awesome, people turn very, very quickly bad and violent when they're desperate. They have nothing else. It's, you are an existential threat to them. And if they don't find food, they're going to die. So if they're going to die anyways, they might as well take you out, right? If you have food and you're standing in between them and your food. So it's going to get crazy when this starts, folks. It really will. But I think this takes us down many notches and really sets the citizens of the world on their knees when the nuclear bombs start flying, and there's economic collapse and worldwide famine and World War III happening over our heads. That's when everybody will be saying, peace, please, we need a savior. We need someone to save us. And they will accept this world savior, this Antichrist figure. So this is, obviously huge. Moscow puts on the table a preemptive strike with tactical nuclear weapons. Not strategic that you hear about, but tactical nukes. Ones, pinpointed for whatever it may be, civilian populations, or just, significant infrastructure in Ukraine, across Europe, specifically the military bases that are the supply chain that's supplying Ukraine with, with weapons, artillery, that sort of thing. And that's what they're going to use these for. We are striking now to avoid World War III. Again, escalate to de-escalate, just like the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. Escalate to de-escalate, put the fear in the opponent, and hopefully they will wave the white flag. So Russia's loading submarines with supersonic nuclear weapons. I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. That is absolutely incredible. How many of your neighbors understand this is going on? How many people in your household know this is going on? They don't know. They're not following it. It's not on mainstream media, so there's no way for them to know it unless you're telling them about it. And it's just, the media they're doing a massive disservice. It's dangerous. The people need to be aware. But you know what? If the people were aware, they would tell their politicians that we don't want war, and maybe NATO nations and members would not be supporting this anymore. Or maybe there would be an interest in peace there. I just read another article that they're, trying to get Egypt and Saudi Arabia to come up with some peace plan for Israel and Gaza again. Well, where are the peace negotiations with Russia and Putin in Ukraine? There are none. It's because there's money being made, and I won't get too excited about that. But you know what's happening. I know your eyes are open, but I think things are going to get very, very hard, folks. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. I think Christians. I think we are here for that, people. Mark my words, we don't get raptured out. I do not believe. It's going to be hard for us, and we will have to stay faithful to the end, keep running the race. It's going to get very, very difficult. A lot of people will fall away from the faith in these last days. Thanks for watching. I'll leave it there. We'll see you in the next video.